Bienvenidos a Tu Historia. Welcome to Your Story. I'm your host, Karla Barnes, and we're coming to you from Newman University. On this show, we will be getting to know members of the Newman community better as they share their stories. My first guest is a sophomore here at Newman University studying nursing, originally born in Ecuador, and she's right here and she lives now in Upper Darby. Please welcome Jennifer Otuna to the program. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Karla.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. This is a pleasure to have you here, and we want to get to know you a little bit better. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm originally from Ecuador. I came here to the U.S. when I was 10, and yeah, that's where I started here.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit more about your story. So you were born there. What do you remember of Ecuador?
Well, I don't remember that much. Just, school, friends, and my family. And yeah, I don't really know that much of places to go to. But yeah, that's just the stuff I know.
Yeah, and that actually happens to, a lot of students too, because they are born there and they come here and it's a lot of change, and then when you're young, it's not really that memorable. And what city were you born?
Oh, I was born in Pasaje, El Oro Pasaje, Ecuador.
And that's awesome. I've personally never been to Ecuador, but I've heard a lot of awesome stuff about that place. And right now on the screen we have a picture of Pasaje, Ecuador. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that picture is the church, the church from the city I'm from. And I remember every Sunday going to the church with my grandma. So that's like a really nice memory.
It brings memories,
Yeah, memories.
So that's one of the things you remember from your childhood.
Yeah, I remember that from my childhood.
That's awesome. And you said you came here when you were 10, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your transition coming here from Ecuador?
I remember when I first got here, the first week, I even got sick because I didn't like it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was all new stuff to me. I miss my family back there, especially my grandma, because I was raised with her. So, yeah, I was really having a hard time, the first couple weeks, months when I came here.
And
and even after, because I didn't know English, I have to start all over again and learn the language and be able to communicate with everybody else. So it was a pretty hard adaptation.
Did your parents help you with speaking English? Did they know, or did you have to learn yourself, in school? And
yeah, in school. Well, I was in how when you're foreign they put you in the
ESL
programs.
Or
ELL, yeah. So it's the English learner language, something like that, where they teach you all the grammar stuff. So, but I also had my dad helping me out at home, with my homework. The ABC, I remember we had I had to memorize, and then when he came back from work, I had to tell him the ABCs. If I didn't do it right, he would put my ear, Yeah.
So it was a case of you're the teacher in a sense to your parents because you were teaching them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, my dad was teaching me back then. Yeah, but now it's the other way around.
That's awesome. So you got to learn better and you help them out too.
Yeah.
As well. So you came here, and who lives now currently with you? It's your family?
Oh, yeah, my parents. I have my younger brother. He was born here. And I also lived with my grandfather. He was born in Ecuador, but he came months ago.
That's awesome. I also want to talk a little bit about your places, the places to visit in your country, Ecuador. And you were talking to me a little bit about Salinas, Ecuador.
Yeah, Salinas is one of the most famous beach they have, or a nice tour place to go to. But there's a lot more to know. Me personally, I haven't been there, or the other places that I know, I've heard of, not visited, but yeah, I heard it's good. And one day, hopefully, I'll go there.
How's the weather over there?
How's the weather?
Yeah.
It's really tropical. Yeah, it's
nice.
There's not really cold or snow or anything like that. It's
humid,
just,
maybe?
Yeah, it's hot and humid.
Yeah. And also an interesting fact about Ecuador, which we actually learned in class, we were actually in class together for Spanish, was that Ecuador has different climates too.
Yeah, the capital, which is Quito, that's where it's like kind of cold or chilly. Um, I believe there's some snow in Quito, but I don't know like the time when it snows, but I heard of that there is. So
And that's crazy because if you think about it, it's like,
yeah, we have like the hot part and the cold part, you know. Like
and they
here,
happen
like
both at the
here,
same time, right? It can happen like if you're in the mountains, it's can be cold, like snowy over there, and then if you go down, it's
yeah, it's different. So
that's awesome.
it's like here, for like
Mhm.
Florida, it's hot, and then here it's just
Yeah.
well, right now it's winter here, but yeah.
Yeah, and that's like
Mhm.
blows my brains because like I'm from Puerto Rico and it's just an island, so it's
Yeah,
always
it's
hot
just
in there.
always
It's
hot,
always
yeah.
the same. So just like to have those two, it's big over there, right? It's really big.
Yeah, it's. I mean, not really big.
Compared.
Not a big country,
Compared to
but
mine.
but yeah, compared to your
Yeah.
to your country, it is bigger than Puerto Rico.
And also an interesting thing was that you were telling me about the different languages spoke there, so it's not just Spanish.
Oh yeah, there's
Can you tell us a little bit more?
Well, from what I know, there's like the indigenous language they have, which is called Quechua, or sometimes they call it Quechua, which is like the indigenous language. Um, I don't know anyone that speaks it, but I know like some friends here, like their parents are from some parts of Ecuador that they speak that language, but some other parts they don't know it. Like the city, like I'm originally from the city, so I don't really know. But if you go to the like to the outer parts of Ecuador, you will find people that speaks Quechua.
That's awesome. So you still have like the native
Yeah.
community there
Yeah,
still. It's
native.
not.
Yeah.
It's still present
Yeah.
to some sense.
I mean, we're a mix, you know, we're a mix of like indigenous and Spanish. Like we learn from in our Spanish class, you know.
A lot of Spanish with Sister Linda.
Yeah.
And also, I wanted to talk a little bit about here. Like, what is it like to be here? Do you still have current traditions you still do with your family? Current things you did and don't do anymore? How is that?
To be honest, in Ecuador, I didn't really have any like tradition because like I lived with my grandma and you know she's old now and my parents were here, so we never really had like specific tradition. Oh, we're gonna do this a certain time of the year or stuff like that. So when I came here, it was just like different. I started celebrating like Christmas over there. We celebrate New Year's, which we have like you know those. We make like those. I forgot how to. I don't even know how to explain it, but yeah, like we do that, and it's better over there celebrating New Year's than here because you can do stuff that you're not allowed here. I mean, you're not allowed because yeah, it's different. But overall, I don't have any traditions that I started doing here or stopped doing over there. So.
And you also, I remember a while ago, you showed me a picture about you dancing at church.
Yeah, the video I showed you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
was,
tradition, kind of, right?
Well,
That you do, like, is it for Christmas?
it's like a culture tradition, but in my family, we don't have a tradition. But yeah, like every year in our church, we're Catholic. We go to the church, and every Christmas we dance, like in the indigenous in a way, indigenous dance or folkloric dance.
That's
however you say it.
awesome.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It keeps the culture alive. Did you
Alive,
learn
yeah.
how to dance like that from your parents, or was
No,
it?
no, not from my parents. I remember my first year that I volunteered because you know they were actually like this girl came up to me, oh, you want to be part of the group? And I was like, yeah, sure. I think I was like 12, and I was like, yeah, sure. And then I remember my brother was my partner, so she will teach us. Like we will watch videos on YouTube of other people, like Ecuadorian people dancing, like on festivals or something. So we will watch them first, and then we would like try to repeat the same steps or do the same dance.
It was kind of like self-taught.
So yeah, it was self-taught.
That's awesome. So now I want to transition to talking a little bit about why Newman. So when you came here, why did you choose to come to Newman, and how do you feel as being, you know, Ecuadorian, that fits into here? Like, how do you feel here at Newman?
Why did I choose Newman? I think when I like first came to the, you know, how you like come to the tour and they show you the school, like the place, I like it, and it's not a big school, so especially for like a nursing career, I'd rather be in a small place than a big place, you know, because like you're not like teachers are not focused into you. They're like focused into a lot of people, but if you like are in a small place, they will like give you some attention or like be careful about you, you know. So I guess that's why I chose Newman. It's a good school too.
Yeah, it is. And why nursing? What prompted you to study nursing?
Why nursing? I don't know. When I was little, I always said, oh, I wanted to be a enfermera, which is nursing in Spanish. So yeah, it started from there, and I guess I just went for my first thought, you know.
So it was a childhood dream.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. How do you feel like what you're learning and what you're studying right now? Do you like it? Do you feel as that's where you want to go?
Yes. I mean, as time goes, it gets a little harder, but I think just gotta keep going, you know. Yeah, that's how it is. I mean, nursing is not a easy career, but you have to keep going and study.
Yeah, and there are like many differences in healthcare and things like that going on right now.
Yeah.
Also, like you talked about not just nursing, but also going into like pediatrics and things like that.
Yeah, I want to be a nurse practitioner, which is like I want to focus in kids, which is the pediatric field. So yeah, I mean, I like kids. So
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit about food. The best topic. So your favorite food, which I know what it is ceviche de camarones, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so explain to us what it is. We have a picture of it right there in the background. And why do you like it? You know, what's special about it?
Well, since I'm from the hot part of Ecuador or the coast side, I like seafood a lot. So shrimp is my favorite thing to eat. Yeah, it's a good food.
Do you know how to prepare it, or?
I don't know, but my parents do. Yeah, my mom always makes it. When I tell her to do it, sometimes she makes it for us. And yeah, I really like it.
That's awesome. Can you describe it though, like for people that don't know what it tastes like? Is it like a soup and then shrimps? I was gonna say camarones. Is it shrimp in Spanish?
Yeah, it's not. Well, it is like a soup, but at the same time it's not, because soups are usually hot. But in this time you can eat it cold.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's like shrimp, has onions, tomato, which I always take off because I don't like tomatoes. Some people say, "Oh, what's the point of it then?" But yeah,
it gives it a taste.
Yeah, it gives it a taste.
Right?
Yeah. One thing I know is like when you're preparing it, because I've seen my parents doing it. They put ketchup on it too. To give it the color. Like it has like a kind of
reddish.
Like a white reddish. Yeah. So ketchup, it's like a good flavor to put it in.
And the plantains, I see them on the picture. Do you usually eat it with them, or?
Yeah, we usually eat it with them, or we
really
have
good.
the tostones.
Yeah, tostones.
Yeah, we put that too.
And it's really, when she says tostones, I'm like, yeah, tostones, because even though we're Hispanic, the words are different for a lot of stuff that we say. So I'm like, yeah, for once we have something in common. Because like for, I don't know, what was the word?
The earring.
Earring, like for example, an earring. I called earring pantallas, and you call it what?
Aretes.
Aretes. So you can really see the culture in there, and how even though we all speak Spanish, both of us, that there's different words. And different things that separates us in a way. But yeah, that's awesome. I've never had ceviche. I don't really like shrimps though, but my parents crazy about shrimp, so maybe one day you'll bring some to them.
That's my favorite food. But
okay, talking about food, you brought here some Ecuadorian candy that you wanted me to try, and it seems like it's chocolate. Let's see over here. So
it is chocolate.
It's chocolate.
You should try that, the yellow one first.
This one?
No, the orange one. Sorry.
They're both kind of orange though.
Yeah.
Okay, so so we have manicho. Never had before. I'm gonna try a little bit. And this. Do you have any memories of this growing up?
Yeah, I used to whenever I had money, you know, like 20 or 25 cents.
25 cents?
I don't know how much it is now, but I think the last time I went back, it's kind of expensive now. Probably 50 cents.
50.
But yeah, it's just chocolate with peanuts.
Okay, so chocolate, manicho has chocolate and then peanuts in it. It's it's really good. It just tastes like chocolate, regular chocolate, and then it has peanuts. So it's kind of like the Hershey's. I feel like it tastes like the Hershey with almonds, but with peanuts instead.
Yeah.
It tastes really good. Oh my god, I like this. I'm gonna keep it.
Another this thing that they always put on the candies. I don't know why, but they tell you they let you know what it has. Like it says high in sugar. It says high in fats and low in salt. So they tell you
Good to know
if
for
you're able
dietary
to
purposes.
exactly if you're able to eat it or not. But
yeah, and you can see this too. It's in Spanish, of course. In this other one, it says high in sugar, high in
all the
fat.
candies now have that.
It has that?
Before they didn't, but I don't know if when they started having this, but it was recently, to be honest, because I don't remember when I was growing up. I don't remember that they had this, but now all the candies have it.
That's awesome.
Not even candies, like snacks and
I'm guessing probably
chips,
just because
all that stuff.
Maybe they had a new restriction of not doing too much with the telling people what it had in there and dietary purposes. So here is the next one, and it's called tango. Tango doesn't mean anything in English. What does, wait.
Well, the dance.
No? Well, yeah, I mean, you can call it dance tango, but it's not an actual word. It's not an actual word in Spanish except for the dance.
Yeah.
So it's just I guess their brand called tango. And something interesting is that this one is from the sled. So that's cool. This one's from Universal. I don't know. Not Universal Florida, not Universal Orlando, but just Universal. And this one, it says it's 2 cookies filled with vanilla cream, covered in chocolate. So let's have a try. First one. Are you gonna eat with me, or are you gonna just eat?
I'm just looking.
Let me eat by myself. Here's the other piece.
It says energy, 3%.
Energy. I'm gonna get some energy with this. If you want energy, go to tango. That's the way to go. Okay, so this tastes familiar. So I don't know if you guys have ever tasted the Maria cookies. They're like it tastes like that. Maria, it's called Maria. It's white. I mean, it's yellow pack of Marias, and they taste like the Maria cookies. And then they have the Oreo cream on the inside. It really does taste like the Oreo cream. The white cream on the inside.
That's thicker.
Yeah, it's thicker, so it's really good. And then the chocolate, you can never go wrong with chocolate. So I don't know, back to that. And wow, that's really good. And I get the energy too, so you already know. I'm not selling this. I'm not sponsored by anything but tango. Okay, so that was really good. It was great having you here, Jenny. Great learning about Ecuador and the candy and everything, which was not the most important thing because it was her culture. But the candy is part of it too. The food.
Yeah, the food.
The food, the flags, everything.
Of course.
It was a pleasure having you here, getting to know
Thank
you a little
Karla,
bit better.
for having me here.
And that's all the time we have for this week of Tu Historia. I would like to thank you, Jennifer, for being here again and for sharing your story with the Newman students and everyone else who is watching this story.
Yep.
Thanks for watching and tune in next week for another episode of Tu Historia. Adios.